guys, we are going to be thrifting for books and putting books into free little libraries. I already have some here that I want to share that I'm planning on passing on to free little libraries. These are my own. One of you guys actually asked me on Instagram, you said, how do you decide which books to put into free libraries? And honestly, it's kind of hard, but I have this shelf, and whenever the shelf gets too full, I'm like, okay, something has got to go. Like, I genuinely just cannot read hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books in 1 year. So I have a stack of books. Comment below if any of these books are books that I like actually need, because sometimes I'll like put books in free libraries and then literally like go out and like buy them again or go to the library and get it because I genuinely just like get sad that I don't have them anymore. It's very rare that happens, but sometimes it does. I have a few here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books here. So there's quite a few here that I'm planning on putting into the free library. We're gonna start with just like a few of the books. I have Date Me Bryson Keller, and this is by Kevin Van Wy. This is a book by an author that I really love. He wrote Nate Plus One, and this is a queer read. Honestly, I really do want to read this book, but I think I'm gonna buy this in like hardback or maybe get it from the library because I am so weird about like text and like pages in books. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but the pages in this book, they're like a brownish color, and I don't know, I can't even explain it, but there's certain books where I'm like, I know I will not pick up that book because of how the page looks, how the like text looks. Comment below if you're like that. I can't be the only one who's like that. And then I also have Betting on You by Lynn Painter. This book right here was actually one that was recommended to me whenever I had like strangers pick my books in Barnes. The only thing about this book is I'm just kind of like not in the mood to read young adult books. Like, I just haven't been for a while, and I feel like someone else could easily love this book and I could just get it from the library when I want to read it. I also have, let's see what else we got. We have, what is this? American Proposal? Is that what it's called? Or Home Run Proposal. That's what it is. This book is spicy. I haven't been in the mood for like a ton of spice lately. Like, this is your traditional book talk, like spicy book, but it says the proposal was simple: score a home run and take my virginity, except my proposal went to the wrong brother. So yeah, I mean, as you can tell, it's like already pretty spicy. So that's what that book is about. And then I also have some more books here. I have Please Excuse Our Confusion. This is by a Black author. I always like to put books by Black authors into the free libraries. This is one that is a young adult book. So again, I just haven't really been in the mood for young adult books. I also have Thank You for Sharing by Rachel Runya Katz. You guys actually said like, you need to keep that book, like you need to read it. And I almost unhauled it in one of my last videos and you guys were like, keep it. I have not picked up this book. I haven't had the desire to pick up the book, and I don't know what it is. Like, I think sometimes books will sit on my shelf so long that I just like lose interest, and I don't really hear anyone talking about it. I don't get excited about it. But she has a new book that just came out, and I just bought it, so I feel like I am gonna read that book first. And if I'm gonna read that book, then I probably am not gonna pick up this one, unless I'm like super obsessed, you know, with the new one. But then again, I could just get it from the library because I do know that my library has this book. And I also have Text Appeal by Amber Roberts. This one is, again, supposed to be like a pretty spicy, like book talk type book. And this one is about a girl who is, I think, a sex worker, but she's like keeping a secret from her best friend because she like doesn't want him to know or something. I just feel like for me, I just haven't really been gravitating towards super spicy books. Like, I just haven't. I also have Cupid Calling, with which this is a queer read. I've heard that this book is wildly spicy, and it is about like a reality dating show. So there's like 30 bachelors. Is it 30 bachelors, 1 bachelorette? They shouldn't be falling for each other. And I think that like 2 of the guys who are on the show, they end up actually falling for each other versus falling for the like woman who is like the main person on the reality TV that they're supposed to be falling for. I've heard that this is super spicy. They did come out with this in a new cover, so I could see myself if I like get back into the mood of like super spicy books. Like, really the only spicy books that I've been leaning towards lately are urban romance, and I don't know why. Maybe because like when I go into it, I'm expecting it to just be like wildly spicy, like I just know. But I don't know, I just haven't like really been gravitating towards it. And honestly, haven't really been in the mood for that much either. I also have the Chicken Sisters, and you guys know I don't take like a ton of PR, but I recently got a PR box from Reese's Book Club because this is being turned into a TV show, which is so cool. But I just don't know if I'll actually get around to reading this year. I can see myself definitely watching the show because it's about two like chicken businesses. They like cook chicken, and they I think are competing against each other to see like who's the best one. It is by Hallmark. It's on the Hallmark channel, so I feel like I'll definitely watch it. I just don't know if I'll read it because it's definitely giving like fluffy, cutesy, like small town vibes, but it's not a romance. And you guys know I'm a romance girly, and I have been reading some contemporary and literary fiction lately, but all of it is like very deep and like has a ton of depth. And maybe this book does have depth. I just feel like I'm getting like fluffy, cutesy vibes because it is a Hallmark. Another young adult book. So many of you guys have said that you actually really enjoy this book, so I am kind of sad to put this in there, but I just have not had the desire to read young adult books. And I am not like giving away all of my young adult books, but I just am giving away the ones that I like have not been reaching for. And this is called No Filter and Other Lies, and I'm pretty sure the entire book she lies, and that actually is something that like stresses me out. Like I don't normally get stressed out a lot when I like read books, and that stresses me out. Like literally just seeing people lie and like tell lies. I'm like, oh my God, I know someone's gonna find out. Like it stresses me out. So I just don't feel like reading it. And then I also have the Twisted series. This is a series that I actually am kind of sad to give up just because I feel like I don't know, I feel like I enjoyed the first book. Like I rated it 3.5 out of 5 stars. But again, that was like, I don't know, months ago, like last year, honestly. And I feel like my taste in books has definitely changed. Like I don't really gravitate towards super wildly spicy books. And if I do, again, I feel like it's been more like urban romance than anything. So I don't know, I just can't see myself reading this whole series. So I know that someone will definitely enjoy those books because they're super, super popular. And I always try to put like popular book talk books in there. But again, those books are in my library, so I could easily go and pick those up if I wanted to. But those are all the books that I have. I'm gonna go into the library and see what they have in there. They have a section where you can like buy books. So I'm gonna see if there's anything that I wanna buy and take over to the free library. I found a bunch of books, and these were only $15 and some change, which is crazy. Like, I always forget how like good of deals I can get when I go thrifting for books, and so many of these books actually came out this year, which is wild. Go to your library. Like, I didn't realize that my library has a section where you can buy books, but this one does. So all the hardbacks were $3, and then I think I want to say the paperbacks were like $1.50 maybe, or $1. I can't really remember, but sorry, we're on a busy street, by the way, that's why it's like kind of loud. But the first book that I got was The Resort, and this book is definitely giving like summer vibes, which is like not really what I feel like most people are wanting to read right now because it is like getting to be fall. But I also feel like whenever I take a vacation, I always want to read books like this. So this is definitely going to be one that someone's going to take for sure on like a vacation or something like that. It says, "Welcome to paradise. We hope you survive your stay. There are 3 rules to follow during a vacation at the famous resort. Leave the past behind. Always be careful who you trust. And if someone discovers who you really are, run." I don't know. Is this a thriller? I don't know. I also got the Kismet Connection. This is a young adult book. Thought it would be really cutesy for someone. I try to always put in young adult books just for like any age, you know, like I want people who are of any age to be able to go into the free libraries and get something. I also got The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is another young adult book, and this is one that I loved. I rated this one 4 stars, and I feel like the show is so nostalgic, so no matter your age, I feel like you'll really like it, and it reminds you of summer and like falling in love for the first time and all of that. And then I picked up the Magnolia Palace. There's actually 3 books that were in this stack that are from Book of the Month. I've been thinking about trying Book of the Month because I feel like Book of the Month always has really good books if you don't know what to pick. And you guys know I've been in my historical fiction, contemporary fiction, literary fiction era, and for someone who doesn't normally read that, it has been a little daunting to try to figure out what I like. And I feel like Book of the Month would be like nice for that. So comment below if you guys use Book of the Month. That could definitely be something that I could like get in the future. But this one is Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis. And it says that it's a tantalizing novel about secrets, betrayal, and murder within one of New York City's most impressive Gilded Age mansions. And it's set 8 months after the Spanish flu outbreak of 1919. It's about a 21-year-old. And you guys know, like, I have been really eating up historical fiction. And by eating it up, I mean I've like read one book and like loved it. I read the Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. Now I feel like I want to read historical fiction and everything. But I told myself when I went like thrifting for books, like for free libraries, that I wouldn't keep any of the books. Like I want them to go into the free library. So like if there's good books in it, that's a good thing. So someone else is going to be very happy getting it. And then another book that I actually wanted to take with me is First Light Wins by Ashley Elston. This is a thriller that I've heard everyone talk about. I actually have already put this into a free library once before, but this is the hardback from Book of the Month. There's literally 3 books from Book of the Month in here. And I've heard First Light Wins is so good. I love how Book of the Month has like the little things right there. You know what I mean? But this is the first, this is a thriller that I've heard so many people say is incredible, and it's making me want to read it. This one says Evie Porter has everything a nice southern girl could want: a doting boyfriend, a house with a white picket fence, and a tight group of friends. The only catch, Evie Porter doesn't exist. I don't know, like, is Evie Porter dead? Like, I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna head over to the free library and drop it in there and see if there's any other books in there, and hopefully they'll all fit because I'm gonna go to a different free library today. So cross my fingers if there's enough room inside of there. I'm only bringing 4 books over here because I can already tell that this is not going to fit into this free library. Looks like there's already a lot of stuff in here. You can see that there's like a lot of books that are in really good condition already. There's lots of kids books down here. I might be able to fit a few more, but I mean, there's barely any room in here, which is great. I love that. So we're gonna try to put what I have in here and see if it fits. And then I don't want to like squish any of the books, you know, like I want them to like still stay in great condition. And that's pretty much all that I think can fit, like, because these are taller, maybe like one more on top of that, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. I don't know what these are. Oh, maybe these are like coloring pages. Yeah, we're gonna leave that. So yeah, maybe we'll go to another free library to see if I can fill up another one. Just here a few weeks ago, so I want to show you guys the books that are in here. It looks like someone brought a lot of like these smaller books, but there's also a few that I bought the last time that I was here. Confessions of a Shopaholic is still here. Before I Die is still here, and there's other ones in here too, I think. Let's see, there's a ton. I don't even know if the books that I have are gonna actually fit in here. It is stacked. Someone brought a lot of like smaller books. I put these on the bottom. I'll like organize this and show you. This is the stack that I have. This looks so much better now that it's filled up. You guys can see all the books that I put in, and literally it was $15 for the ones that I got from the library, and then I just brought some from home, and now it's all full. And obviously there's some in the back too, so this is really nice. I feel like every time I come this is usually empty, so it's nice that there were already some books in there. I just put the books into the free library, and I'm literally looking at two like teenage girls just absolutely giggling over the books that are in the free library. Like I feel so happy. Like they're giggling. Like I wish I could show them. Like I obviously showed you guys like a little clip whenever I was at the last free library of some little kids who were looking in it. Like they were, I wouldn't say little, like they were maybe like 10 or so. But these girls that I'm looking at right now are probably like, I don't know, 16, 13, 15, somewhere in there. I really have no gauge for like how old like anyone is these days. But she pulled out the Twisted books and was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And her friend was like, what? And she was like, and they were just walking past. They weren't even going to stop. And I always put them like facing forward so like people can see the books. And she just looks so happy. She has so many books. So I just think that that is like so cool. She has The Summer I Turned Pretty. She has Cupid Calling. She's literally like, they just walk past. They're literally giggling over the books and she's so excited. She has like a whole stack of the books. Guys, I could cry. Like I could like actually cry. Like every time I come to fill up the free libraries, I'm always like, oh, like, you know, you never know. Someone could just be taking them all and selling them. Like, you know what I mean? You don't know. Like, you really have no idea. And I've always told myself, like, just do the good. Like, do the good and God will work out the rest. And if someone decides that they want to resell the books and, you know, use that for their income, maybe they're down bad and they need the income. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's that's God's way of blessing them in their time of need, you know? And I always hope that they're going to people who are actually reading the books versus like reselling. Cause like I wouldn't really like that as much. But the free library over here, the one I went over to first was by a park. And this one over here is like right by high school. And my goal was like, to fill this one up and keep it filled because it's literally right by high school. And I'm like, if it's by high school and it's by a high school that is like, maybe the people here wouldn't have access to get to like a bookstore or something like that. You know what I mean? And I just think it is so cool. So cool to see two girls, literally they're just walking past, just talking. One of the girls had like two pigtails in her hair, walking past, just talking. And then she's like, and she looked and she opened like the, like little free library and was like, like just giggling. I could hear her from in my car. And that is what I have just like wanted for the free libraries. And it's been like a year almost of me filling them up. And I've only seen like one lady who's looked in it while I was there, and she was like, oh, I'm getting ready to have surgery and like it would be really nice to have a book to read. I'm like, oh yeah, definitely, like take whatever. And she was like, I want to take one for my kid because while I'm having surgery I won't be able to like play with them as much. And I was like, well, you should also take something for yourself. Do you like thrillers, romance? So then she ended up picking up like a thriller for herself. But it's just so cool. Like you literally, the joy in that girl's voice, you would think she hit the jackpot. Like she had just books under the arm, and there were tons more books in there that she could have taken. Like there were other like cutesy high school books, but she took 5. She took The Summer I Turned Pretty, Cupid Calling. I want to say she took the 3 Twisted books, and I think that was it. But there was still Kismet Connection in there. There was, you guys saw, like there were other young adult books. Please excuse my confusion. Like she could have grabbed those, and she took what she wanted and what she needed, and then she like left. You know what I mean? And I just think that is so cool. So reminder as always, do good. It's gonna go to the right hands. If it goes into the wrong hands, that's not on you. Like we can't try to block someone's blessing because we're trying to keep people who aren't doing the right thing, like from like taking advantage of the good that we're giving. You know, like we just have to do the good and hope that God works out the rest. So I feel very, very blessed today just being able to see like the giggles from those girls and seeing like those boys that were over at the park and they were like pulling out books. Like I just feel so happy. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys as always in the next one. Bye guys.